Sounds good. 46, take two.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to First Takes. I'm Jennifer Kauf. I'm the global head of marketing and creative at First. I am very excited to kick off this new series and talk with some of the amazing people here at First. With First Takes, we're going to bring together thought leaders from across our agency. They will share unique insights on what's shaping the future of events and brand experiences, how we engage teams, how we build company culture, and much more than that. We'll tap into the expertise and creative thinking that's redefining our industry, and we'll talk about trends, we'll explore bold ideas, and we'll uncover the cultural moments that are inspiring us right now. So, whether you're an industry pro, a brand leader, someone who's just curious about how things run behind the scenes, we hope you're going to find First Takes insightful and fun. In this first episode, we are going to talk to CEO of First, Maureen Ryan Fable, which I'm very excited about. She and I are going to chat about growing this global brand experience agency and just the importance of continuously evolving. So, with that, I am very happy to welcome Maureen.
And I'm super excited I get to kick off this series. Thanks for having me first.
Being here. So, in part of this kickoff, I do want to celebrate. You've recently celebrated your 20-year anniversary here at First, and that actually coincides with the launch of our US operation. This is obviously a huge achievement and milestone, and would love for you to share a little bit about your journey and how you've gotten to where you are today.
Yeah, I know it's funny. I can't believe it's been 20 years. In some instances, it feels like longer than that, I want to say. And then in some, it's like it's gone by in a flash. But I can think about when I started out, I really started out, I mean, just my love of events, really, honestly. It was at Billboard magazine, and I just loved seeing the events they did that defined my career. I date myself when I say that when I went to college, they like didn't have like events as a major. So I just picked the easiest one that I thought that I could graduate with, which was communications at the time. So yeah, I really fell into events, but I loved it from the beginning. And so I kind of got my experience over the years between Billboard magazine, then the New York Stock Exchange, and then I don't know what kind of was inside of me, but I really, I think once I was even at Billboard about 6 years, 4 or 5, 6 years in, when I was thinking about moving on, I just felt like eventually I wanted to open up my own, and I felt like I had what it took, and that I could do it. And I just went with it. I think timing it has a lot to do with that, and then taking a leap of faith. So I did that when I started my own agency, and then 4 years later, I shared a mutual client with First Protocol, who is UK based, and I sort of merged my business in with them, and then we opened up the US operation, and so then it kind of went from there. So it's been a journey, but I'm proud of the journey, and obviously the growth of the US office in particular, which was my baby from the beginning. But I took a global role on about 10 years ago. So
Yeah, and I've had the opportunity to have the front row seat to some of those leaps of faith, and it is, I think, built into DNA, making just smart um, choices that have helped us sustain. So definitely have seen that part of you throughout the time here.
yeah, some good, some bad. You gotta go with it though, right? I mean, I think if you're afraid and you're afraid to do things, then there's a fear that settles in, as opposed to, hey, you learn from mistakes, or you learn from different things you do, and it's all part of growth. So yeah.
Like the saying of you regret the things that you haven't tried versus the things that you did try and maybe didn't
Yeah.
turn out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Speaking
Absolutely.
of that, we've seen so much change in our industry in these 20 years. Would love to hear your thoughts on what you've seen change and how we have adapted and flexed so that we can be where we are today and really, I think, survive and thrive through such different times.
Yeah. I mean, what we always say, I mean, change is constant, right? Like, I mean, if you sit still, you'll get run over, kind of thing. Like, you really have to adapt. You have to have the mindset to adapt, for sure. So there's always stuff changing with, technology, with global, with, the economy, like just everything is just constantly changing. And it's sort of how you're listening to what your clients are telling you and what's going on with them, and then how you're adapting your business model accordingly. And I think that is really um, one of our strengths in particular. I think, coupled with the, hey, let's try this out. I think when, especially when we did the embedded model, like that wasn't necessarily something we started out saying we wanted to do. Obviously, we were a straight agency doing, project-based work, but that could be quite volatile, right? Like you can, it's not necessarily repeat year on year. And then we started doing the embedded model, say as for one example, where we, embed team members and put them in clients' offices. And we just started out saying, client had a need, and I think it was 4 people in the UK. And it was at the time going to be more their transactional orientated events, the less risky ones that they were like, oh, okay, hey, we'll outsource. And that, we just built upon that model, and perfected it to the degree you can perfect it. You're just constantly perfecting and constantly working on it. Perfection isn't really the word. You're just, kind of constantly trying to work through it. So that's been a big part of sort of, I think, the growth of the project-based work that we do, coupled with the embedded, and moving, seeing that need, like I said, and requirement come up with for clients, and us trying to manage it, and then seeing the degree that what we do well within it, finding our niche within it, I think was really important too. So that was one. I mean, the pandemic, of course, was, threw a curveball for all of us, and has since continued to throw that curveball, I would say, just sort of it's has a lot lasting effects, and that has been for many other fellow industry people that I'll speak to as well. We're not alone in that. So you're rolling with it. It's what is it? What's the saying? It's not a canal, it's a river. And it's just constantly going.
Um, so in that process, you've really led us through some ups and downs, and I think you bring a really distinct leadership style, which I appreciate. I think you're very direct and very honest. That resonates a lot to me, and I think a lot of other people in our organization connect with that as well. What has influenced you in your approach to leadership and just your mindset, how you approach coming and showing up every day?
There's a saying, I think it's one of my Peloton instructors says all the time, like, no, no ego amigo. Like, I think first and foremost, right? Like put your ego to the side. I think, a lot of leaders, I think, lead with me, and I think the most successful leaders, they lead with empathy, and they lead with, they say you should listen more than you talk. I still work on that one, because that's not necessarily my strength, but we're all a work in progress. But I think it's so not a me gig, right? It's all about the people you surround yourself. I'd always say, like, for the jobs even I had before, I was like, my successor is ready for this job when I move on. Like, and that's how it should be, right? You want to lift other people up around you. You want to give them opportunities. You have people smarter than you, and be open about that. Be like, okay, this is not my area of strength, right? This is who can, who can do this, and it's a team effort. I think that's the most important thing. And I think the other thing is just being fair, like being a proper human being. Like, what is fair, and how would you want to be treated? And is this the right thing to do? Like, I think, we would do that with clients, or we do that with our people. Yeah, you know what? Actually, we messed that up. You know what? That's on us. Like just kind of just do the right thing. And I think people, they respond to that, right? I think, and that's, I think, be there for people within good times and bad times. I think that also goes really a long way. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and
I
then,
think,
there's accountability. I mean, you're working for me for all these years now. Like, it's, I also am, I'm not the easiest too, in terms of accountability, and, direct, and the expectations and all that. So I think it's that balance of having that.
yeah, I was saying, like, all the things that you're talking about, to me, it's like coming with good intention, which I think
Yeah,
comes through
positive
from you.
intent.
And I think that everyone here, that's like one of the unique part of our
Yeah.
DNA, right? I think that whether we get it right or get it wrong, I think the intentions
Yeah,
are,
the positive intent. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And you don't always, you definitely don't always get it right. You like make calls and you make decisions, but you need to, you have to, you need to, as much as you think about all the individuals that make up the bigger thing, which is the company, you're also, you've got to also protect the masses, that is the business as well, because that could have a really potential negative windfall effect as well. So it's just balancing that is pretty critical.
So our industry is pretty notorious for being known as high stress. There's all the studies out there. It's kind of nuts. And we know it takes a tremendous amount of time and dedication for not just for each individual, but for you and leading and helping to build the organization like ours to where it is today. But you are really great about balancing time with family, with friends, as well as being, very present when you're here for the business. So would love any thoughts and tips on how saying work-life balance is sort of a cliche of a statement, but sort of
Yeah.
your thought process and approach to how making all that work and being there in all those different aspects of your life.
Yeah, yeah, that anomaly of work balance, work-life balance. It's different for everybody, right? Everybody's threshold of what really is truly balance is never an equal balance. But I think I try to align my words with actions, like just constantly just trying to, if I'm put my money where my mouth is, if that's what I'm going to say, I'm going to kind of, go through with it, being intentional. I try to be as present as possible, and I definitely, as I'm known, am like a ruthless time management. Like I ruthlessly prioritize and I time manage like I'm crazy. My assistant laughs all the time at me for like my calendar has to be like very set. But I do think it's so important because I think some of the basic fundamental things around how you're interacting with people is really is really important. So you want to make sure if you have that time allocated, you're present and you're moving things forward, and it's a good use of time, as you will. So, but I take that for personal or professional in that regard. Like I think have fun and enjoy life. I think I do say it often. I have a daily gratitude practice, and it's just about me waking up. And it's funny, I often say it. I think about like my dog getting in my face and licking my face, and she hasn't been feeling well this week, and I'm like she hasn't been doing that. And it's like just those simple things that sometimes you just forget about, that just making the sun shining, or things like that. And I think when you pull yourself into that, when you're getting stressed over, could be something little or something big going on in your life, like it swirls, and it really creates a really certain energy that has a physical and emotional effect on you, and those around you too. So as much as you can try to kind of work to that self-improvement and balance and recalibrating for yourself, and giving that space and grace to yourself, and that I think is important, because I think then that shows up for others around you. So it's a stressful, so many stresses in this environment right now that we're in. I mean, it's a lot for everyone.
Yeah.
It really is.
I'm here for the dog kisses as well.
Yeah.
That helps helps a lot.
It does help a lot.
So
I lend mine out for some that need
yeah.
it. Yes.
Um, what advice would you give to those who are maybe starting on their journey or looking to grow within our industry, grow into maybe a leadership role or into a new space in what we do?
Yeah, I mean, nothing comes easy. Like, it's just, you got to put in the work,
Yeah.
right? I have a big thing that I post out, and it says dreams don't work unless you do. Like it comes down to, putting in the hard work. Like no one is ever going to tell you that, they're in what they, for doing nothing or make it easy, or it got handed to them. I don't know of that. So it does take a lot of that, and it takes a lot of self-reflection in doing that too. But I would say be curious, be open, ask questions, listen, as I mentioned, be bold, take action. I mentioned, don't be afraid to fail. Just try to, even if you have, and everyone had that imposter syndrome, like just, try to, break through it and try to just sort of overcome that, the two sides of the voices in the head, try to kind of power through, and learn from mistakes. You learn from mistakes just as much as the successes. And I think that truly is where, the growth happens. So, yeah.
I'd even learn more from those, I think.
Agreed. Agreed. I was like, okay, won't do that again. Okay. Even now, we'll be in meetings sometimes, and we'll be like, well, why did they do that back then? It's like, okay, listen, don't Don't
Now
throw
we
stones in
know.
the grass house you weren't in at the time. Like just
Oh,
it sounded good at the time that we made those calls.
that's fine.
Yes. Hmm.
So, as we are starting on this new year, we're coming off of the 20-year celebration. What are you most excited about coming into 2025?
Yeah, I mean, each year is an interesting one, and I especially say that. I mean, post COVID too has been very, you know, let's say volatile. That sounds a little too like harsh, but certainly like up and down, where you feel like you step on the gas, or then you feel like it's calibrating out, and certainly it's another busy, hectic year on the horizon right now. So everyone's feeling it. Clients are feeling it, and clearly, obviously, then obviously any in the service industry that are helping them are feeling it too. So I think it's but with that, I say that there's just so much opportunity with that. So like, even though like you have to kind of, that there's great opportunities to be had. So I look forward to that. We've got some new client accounts we're working on that are really exciting. And there's just a lot of, growth all around going on at present. So I'm excited about that. And there's things that I'm nervous about as well, but I'll keep those over here. There's a lot of things to also be nervous about, but I think that's part of life. That's every day. That's kind of every year. So you just kind of take what's coming at you and you try to power through it for sure.
Appreciate that. For that
Yeah.
one thing at a time,
Yes.
what's in front.
One step in front of the other.
So I have a few just speed round questions for you as we
All
wrap
right.
up. Okay, you ready?
All right. Okay.
So, what is your favorite travel destination?
I'll go with like somewhere warm and sunny, like a Caribbean island. Yeah, one of them. Any one of them are quite good.
I
Like
know they all sound
Aruba.
great.
Like I don't know. Yeah, just a Caribbean island. I need to be in the sun right now. It's freezing in New York.
They all sound good in February.
Yes.
What is your favorite music genre?
Of course, pop. Everyone knows that one. That's an easy one.
Are you a morning person or a night person?
Night. Night, night, night. Yes.
And finally, what is your best live experience or event that you have attended?
Well, everyone knows I'm a Swiftie, so I really, really loved the Eras Tour. That was pretty phenomenal. That was my most recent one. I should come up with one that we did because we have done some amazing events over the years, but I wouldn't want to just pick one because that would be playing favorites. But so
You were
I'll
an attendee. This is when like the experience is for you.
yes,
So,
I love that. Okay, so yes, definitely that was the top. Although I am going, we're going to Vegas and we're going to go to the Sphere and see the Eagles. So that's supposed to be fun. I'm going to do that in a
oh,
couple
that one,
weeks.
you're gonna like it. It's
All
great.
right. Looking
Sphere is
forward to that.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
No,
So,
can't wait. Can't
boy, you'll
wait.
have to report back for
Yes,
everybody.
I will do.
Well, thank you, Maureen, for that. Definitely a great conversation. Thank you for sharing your journey and insights and all this advice. So it's so incredible to think about the 20 years of leadership and what's next for First and our clients and our industry. So appreciate all of that. So for those out there who have watched this, thank you for watching. And if you liked the episode, don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more coming stories from behind the scenes at First. And we'll see you the next time.
Thanks, Jen. Appreciate you.
Sounds good. 46, take two.